Hey everyone, welcome to Monday Mindset. I'm Erin Hart, and this is Erin Hart Health Coaching. Every Monday we come here for some inspiration and motivation to help you on your sugar and flour-free journey. So today we're going to be talking about doing the inner work. Um, well, uh, Happy Memorial Day, by the way. This is a really special holiday for us in the United States. It's the holiday where we honor all of our military members who have died while serving in the U.S. forces. And I just think it's such an amazing reminder of just the sacrifices that it took to build this country, to create the freedom and the peace that we have today. And I'm so thankful for all of you who have had family members or loved ones who have sacrificed their lives for us. It is the ultimate sacrifice, and we benefit from that every day. I just am so thankful to live in the country where I can do and become anything that I want to be. I can change. I can have big dreams. I can work toward those, and I just am so thankful, so thankful. When I was thinking about Memorial Day this morning, it was fun. We ran a little 5K as a family at our church, and when I was running, I was thinking about what this means, like what Memorial Day really means to me, and why those men and women sacrificed so much for our freedom. And it's just because freedom is so important. And I'm not eloquent with my words, but it really reminded me of the battles that we all face in our lives and what we're fighting for, what we're working toward. It takes effort and sacrifice, and not to compare the sacrifice that we make with lifestyle transformation to the people who have died for our country. But I honor those people who believed in the power of sacrifice, that they had a vision of what was possible, and a greater why, like a deep reason why they were fighting. And I think we can learn a lot from those people. As we're trying to make our lives better, as we're trying to honor their sacrifice with our lives. It's just a beautiful thing that we have that opportunity. So as you're going through your lifestyle transformation, just remember, sacrifice is the path to freedom and peace. And it's through our sacrifices that we make that we will be able to achieve a better world, a better life, and to become better people. So the definition of sacrifice is trading something that's really important or that you love so much for something that's even better, right? For something that's even more important. And so anyway, I just want to honor all of those people and help us to remember the purpose of sacrifice as we are changing our lives as well. So today we're going to be talking about creating lasting, sustainable transformation. We don't just want to lose weight, we want to lose weight for the last time. And so today, to talk a little bit about that, we're going to talk about doing the inner work. The inner work is just as important as following your meal plan. So the food that we eat, the thoughts that we think are just as important as the food that we put into our mouths in weight loss. So statistically, it's abysmal, unfortunately, that like 1/100th of the people that attempt weight. So in other words, 1% of people who attempt weight loss are able to achieve losing all of their excess weight. So, and then only 1% of that 1% keep it off. And so because the statistics are so abysmal, we have to know that we can't mess around, right? For me, that gives me a lot of hope. It's like, okay, I can create my own statistic. Luckily, the good news is that we each have 100% control over our success in this program. We either follow it or we don't, and the outcomes are going to take care of themselves. But we are the author of our story. We are the creator of our destiny, and every choice we make changes the future. But you have control over whether or not you achieve that goal of losing all of your excess weight and keeping it off long term. But to be able to do that, it does take effort and sacrifice, and it does take focus and intentionality. So when I was a nurse in the ICU, we always gave family members and patients their the statistics when we found out a diagnosis. That sometimes people found out a devastating diagnosis, and then we'd kind of help to give them an idea of what that may mean for them, and statistically, what it looks like for most people. But what we always taught them as well was that statistics really don't matter, because every person is an individual, and just because 99% of people experience this, you may be that 1%. And so when we're talking about statistics and the abysmal statistics with weight loss, I hope that you can be empowered to know that you don't have to fall victim to a statistic. You have control. And so unlike people who have a medical diagnosis, they're kind of, they just, whatever happens sort of thing, but you actually have control. So think about that as we are talking today. The reason that I think that most people regain their weight after losing all of their excess weight, or why a lot of people don't achieve the goal of losing all of their excess weight, is because they haven't experienced the identity shift and that inner transformation. A lot of people start with goal setting, and they start to think about the outcomes, and they focus so much on the outcomes and the strategy, they forget the inner work that needs to happen. So when people focus on the physical transformation, but they fail to do the inner work, and then life happens, or they face some sort of challenge, or they make a mistake and they get discouraged, right? A lot of people go back to what's comfortable, and they go back to their old coping mechanisms and behaviors, and that will just lead to the old results that they had. So I have a good friend, her name is Noreen Savage, and she's the one who starting out right. I love her so much. And one of the quotes that has always stuck with me that she's said is that if you go back to your old ways, W-A-Y-S, you go back to your old ways, W-E-I-G-H-S. So we're more than a body. We also have minds, hearts, and spirits. And not only do we want to care for and transform our physical bodies, but for lasting transformation, it requires that we transform mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. In the Bible, Jesus talks about, he taught this parable that we need to not only wash the outer vessel, but also the inner vessel. So, talking about people who are just focused on the exterior, what people saw with them, but really we have to transform and do that inner work as well. So in my family, we're teaching our kids to do chores. You may hear them in the back. They're home for summer now. And so we're teaching them to do their chores. And so one of the chores is to wash the dishes, right? So all of our cups and bowls, it's pretty funny when we have like a 3-year-old washing those, and and then you find them in the cupboard and they're like all dirty inside, right? So we're teaching them that not only do you have to wash the outside of the bowl or cup, you have to wash the inside, right? So just as we are transforming, you can't just transform physically your body, your physical body, but we also all need to transform mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That is the inner work. so, so how do we do that? How do we do the inner work with weight loss? So, if you're not a journaler, I want to invite you to become a journaler. Journaling is so powerful. When we write things out longhand, we use different parts of our brain and muscles, and we internalize it so much more than when we type it out or talk about it. Talking it out is the second best way, but every night when my kids went to bed, when I was in the weight loss phase, I was 284 pounds and I lost 125 pounds. And the way that I did that, a lot of the most surprising transformation for me was not the physical transformation, it was the internal transformation that happened inside of me, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And a big part of doing that inner work for me personally was writing in a journal. And I was not a journaler prior to this. But every night when my kids went to bed, it's like the only time all day I've ever that I had any time to myself. And I would take that time at night and I would just write down my food for the next day. I would write down, my thoughts and feelings about that day, the challenges that I faced and how I was going to overcome them. I would write down my goals and my dreams. I would write down, why... I would write down why this was so important for me and how it felt to before I started, and how painful that was for me, and why I wanted to change. And so I would just write everything and just get it out. And there was some shift that happened inside of me. I took that time each night as well to pray and to just meditate and to ponder on the importance of this transformation in my life. I think it's much more than being about weight loss and looking cute in jeans, right? This transformation, it's about becoming the person that we want to become. It's about having the energy and capacity to do everything that we want to do with our short time on this earth. And so writing down what that is for you, what that means for you, why it's important is so crucial. If you have the PDF workbook, if you're in my program, follow those journal prompts that I have in there and spend time writing, pondering those important questions. So a big part of doing the inner work, I would just encourage you to journal and to start to, and as we and I would do it with a pen and paper. I'm a technology girl. I love technology. I love apps and everything. I'm even creating an app for my clients, and I'm so excited about that. It's going to be a while till it's ready, but you just can't replace pen and paper when it comes to transforming your thoughts and your thinking. Because when we're writing, we use 10,000 different neural, we have so many more neural connections when we're writing than if we're typing. We have 10. So we want to write it out longhand. It helps us to, even if you can type 100 words a minute, when you're writing it by hand, you have to hold on to your thoughts long enough to get them down on the paper. So it stretches your synapses and it exercises your brain, and it helps you to internalize those truths that you want to believe, so overcoming those limiting beliefs that you have writing down your new empowering beliefs, writing down your goals. It helps us to do that inner work. So I encourage you to do that. Another important thing with inner work is prayer and meditation. And I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For me, that's a big part of my identity, and it was a big part of my transformation. I'm really grateful for my food addiction because it has, through my struggles with food, I've learned that I need to depend on God, that I couldn't do it by myself. And so each night when I was writing, I would pray for help, like, please help me to lose 120 pounds. Help me to stick with my goals today. Help me to have the energy I need to take care of my family and work 2 jobs and do everything that I'm doing and still have time for me. So praying for help and feeding yourself spiritually. We not only want to feed our physical body, but we want to feed our spirit and our mind and our heart. So reading, I have read countless books. I have done a ton of courses and things on self-development and mindset work, and all of those things are so important. Filling your mind with things that are uplifting and encouraging, that help you to want to take action and not give up, right? So prayer and meditation and filling your mind and feeding your spirit and your mind and your heart with things that uplift you. And sorry, these are not all real in order, but okay, so some other ones that I wanted to bring to your attention for doing the inner work, just talking a little bit more about meditation. So meditation is just, it can be so simple. All it can be is just quiet time. It can be sitting on a couch without your phone for a couple of minutes. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be some guided meditation or anything like that. Just creating space in your day where you can think, where you can reflect, or where you can not think, and you can just have space to, when we meditate, it just helps you to become more aware of your thoughts and your actions, including those that relate to food. So meditation is a really powerful practice, and I encourage you to start taking time for quiet time every day, especially if you're a really busy person. We need that. It's very restorative. When we take that time to create that space throughout the day to meditate or do some deep breathing or things like that, it really just it replenishes our willpower, and which is an important thing when you're changing the way that you eat. You want to replenish your willpower. So prayer and meditation definitely help with that. So another area that you can focus on for doing the inner work, we talked about journaling and using that to write down your dreams, but taking the time to visualize your dreams, your vision, where you're going. You need to have a clear destination in your mind of where you're going and why it's important. So visualizing that each day. The way that looks for me is sometimes it's just right when I wake up. The first thing I do when I open my eyes is I just take some time to imagine myself in a year and where I'm going. If I continue on this path that I'm on, where it's going to lead me, and why I'm doing it, right? And I visualize myself in detail being that person that I want to be. So it's really powerful. If we can point our minds in the direction we're trying to go, it helps us to actually go that way. So So, not only looking forward though, we also need to do some self reflection sometimes and look backward. So, when you make a mistake or you start to struggle, that's just part of the process and nothing's gone wrong. This is just part of the process of transformation. So, but we do want to learn from these experiences when we make mistakes, when we struggle, and take time for self reflection. So journaling is a great way to do this. In the PDF workbook, there's the compassionate curiosity exercise. That's a series of questions you can ask yourself to kind of ask yourself, okay, what happened? What were the thoughts I was thinking before I made that decision? How did it feel before, during, and after? And what can I learn from this? How would I approach it next time? Having learned this. So that's a really great exercise for self-reflection. Another exercise in the PDF workbook is the thought inventory tool. So this is a tool that I love because, as we said, the thoughts that you think are just as important as the food that you're putting into your mouth. So with the thought inventory tool, you really just start thinking about what you're thinking. And our thoughts really determine who we become. We become what we think about most of the time. So if we're having a lot of limiting beliefs or thoughts, or we're feeling discouraged because we're thinking, this is hard, or I can't do this, or whatever it is, we need to pay attention to the thoughts that we're thinking and identify those limiting thoughts and beliefs, and then reframe them. So that we can have a better result, so that we can think more empowering thoughts that make us feel hopeful, that make us take action. So those are some tools that we'll continue to talk about throughout the year. But really, to up-level our lives, we need to up-level our thinking and do that inner work. Identity shift is the key to sustainable transformation. So to change your identity, you have to first decide who it is that you want to become, and then you start taking massive, uncomfortable action, and you celebrate all of the small wins. Action doesn't just mean sticking to your meal plan. That definitely is important, but action is also, practicing these tools and techniques to master our mindset and to help us to do that thought work. Thought work takes practice, and we're going to be bad at it at first, like with any skill. But through practice and effort, we can become masters of our mindset, and we can achieve incredible results. If you can get there first in your mind, you're halfway there. So we can't control the first thought that pops into our mind, but we can control all of those other thoughts that come after it. We can choose what those are. And we can also control our actions. So I just want to encourage you to take the time to include some of the inner work in your day, in your habit stacks. Take time for journaling and prayer and meditation. You may not have time, you may not want to focus on everything all at once, but choose one thing that you could do this week to start focusing on that inner work. And then just build on that. When that becomes easy and automatic for you, then maybe add in some meditation, or add in some prayer, or add in some journaling. So just take it one step at a time. Don't feel like you have to be perfect at everything all at once. But like we said, true transformation is to do the work to cleanse the inner vessel, not just our bodies, not just the outer vessel. So we are never done with this inner work, even in maintenance, just like the dishes are never done, ever, right? Because we always have new dishes every day. So it's a journey, and it's the purpose of our lives. to grow and to progress and to become our best. But with God, all things are possible, and I believe in you. So thank you so much for watching this video, and please reach out if you are struggling with your sugar and flour-free lifestyle. I'm here for you. I understand the struggle. I have been through the process myself. I've learned from my own mistakes, and I would love to share with you what I've learned to help your transformation process become faster and easier and way more fun. So have a great day. You can sign up for a free coaching call on my website at erinharthealthcoaching.com. Bye, everybody.